So welcome back to another exciting episode, and today is all about this incredible BMW 1M, which is a very, very rare car. Super excited to see what this is like. This is absolutely stunning in the Valencia Orange, and of course these are only one of 450 ever produced. I'm sure you'll agree, even though it's in here surrounded by all these supercars, this doesn't look out of place. So here we have the 1M, and one of the things I love about these cars is the flared arches that you can see. Valencia Orange actually was probably quite a popular option on this car, and I think it probably one that really suits the vehicle as well. Obviously, being one of only 450 cars, you don't really see an awful lot of them, and if you don't know much about them, you probably just pass this off as a normal BMW 1 Series. But how wrong you would certainly be. Under that engine lies a 3-litre straight-six engine developing 325 brake horsepower. 0 to 60 on this, I think, was around about 4.5, 4.6, something like that. I'm sure you'll tell me if I was wrong in the comments. But also when we come to the back of the car as well, you can just see those lovely pipes, the small little detail on the spoilers, and again, just the chunky back end of the 1M. And there actually is a cult following for these, to be honest with you. I use that word loosely, but there really is a lot of people out there who absolutely love these particular cars. And I think long term, this will be a really cool investment. Inside, actually, this has got the contrast stitching as well, which is nice, which is obviously matches the exterior of the car. Now, if you actually sat inside this, it kind of looks a little bit dated now, but for some reason, when you push that start button and that engine starts, and the gearbox obviously being a manual, this really is extremely fun to drive. In fact, speaking of driving, let's take it out. So here we go, getting to drive this 1M. I've driven actually quite a lot of these over the years, and I've been very fortunate to drive them over the years because there's not many of them about, obviously, as you know, given the limited number of 450. But every single time you get in them, it really does surprise you, because I've driven M cars, there's lots of M3s and there's lots of M4s. There isn't many 1Ms. And given it's a smaller car with a 3-litre rear-wheel drive, this is really good fun. What makes this car more fun these days is this manual gearbox. Yes, that manual gearbox. And the good thing about it is it feels really nicely placed. Now, BMW obviously now tend to do all the new modern technology with all the automatic gearboxes, DCTs, all the other things that they've had. God forbid the old 2004 M3 gearbox, that was horrendous. Anyway, for a lot of those people out there that still like to drive your cars, these are absolutely fantastic. The gearbox feels absolutely brilliant. It's just nicely placed. In fact, let's go around this corner, because it's so much fun. I think for me, one of the features that I really like about this car is actually, although this is a 2012, it's a little bit nostalgic as well, because it is quite old, like the older version inside, and it's before they changed all the cars. Now I've got all these fancy virtual cockpits and everything everywhere, touchscreen this, touchscreen that. This actually hasn't, which is nice. We've got the analog clocks in here, we've got the iDrive, of course, which everyone's familiar with modern BMWs, but it's just enough to have everything you need. I'm actually starting to think, actually, that the analog clocks, I think they should stay. There's just something about them. I think it's you lose a lot of that now with all the LCD screens and everything. Whereas this, just watching the needles moving properly, I just, I don't know. In fact, I do know. I'm just getting old. Well, it seems like it's golden hour out here, and the Valencia Orange really does pop on this car. It really does look absolutely fantastic. It certainly stood the test of time in terms of its looks, overall performance, and it really is a great investment car today. And this one as well, which has arrived at D&B Collection, has a full BMW service history, and it's only had one former keeper as well. Now this one's only just a fraction over £40,000 today, and I think long term these will certainly appreciate. They certainly drive very well. The performance on this is awesome, and the sound. These modern cars these days seem to be suppressed by all the exhaust emissions and whatnot, whereas these just feel clear, sound fantastic, and have the natural sounding engines that pop and bang, which is what it's all about really. So a great fun car. So I hope you enjoyed this week's video all about that fabulous BMW 1M. It certainly looks fantastic out there on the runway. So stay tuned, subscribe for more videos, and we'll see you next week.